I've spent a lot of time testing the SN700 Finale with two different deviations against Manibus the Nightmare, Butterfly Emissary and Mr. Wish. Both can work extremely well, but they have very different strengths and weaknesses. So in this video, I'll show you the complete build I'm using, how each deviation performs in actual gameplay, and when you might want to choose over the other. Let's start with the weapon and build setup. For the main weapon, I'm using a rapid shot style calibration with crit rate attribute. For the secondary weapon, you can use the bingo to apply the bullseye buff. Coming to the gear setup, the key gear will be the cage helmet combined with 3-piece savior set and 2-piece lone wolf set. For the helmet, I recommend momentum up with either a lunar or crescent suffix. For the mask, go with shrapnel carnage with a shrapnel suffix. For the gloves, crit boost or crit amplifier are both good options, paired with either a crescent or arrow suffix. Choose whichever mod is higher. For shoes, rush hour is the preferred option with a downstar suffix. For the top, you can simply choose among your highest level lunar mod. And for the pants, you can choose between reload rampage and bullet siphon with an arrow suffix, again depending on which one you have at a higher level. And if you don't have a good level special suffix mods yet, you can always use Violent as a temporary alternative. These are the Cradle buffs I am using for this setup. For food, canned stick is the fixed choice. If you're using bingo to mark the target, go with mixed fried hot dog. But if you're relying entirely on the SN700 to take down the boss, you can switch to bone deviated sausage or crumbly bread for the additional weapon damage. And if you want to push the damage a little further, there is also an optional weak spot damage bonus you can take advantage of while you're airborne. For this, you need 4 gear pieces crafted with rabbit fur. For the mask, however, I'd recommend Starfall cowhide instead for the additional weapon damage. Now let's start with Mr. Wish deviation. The biggest advantage I found with Mr. Wish wasn't necessarily that it produces the highest damage numbers. It was how consistently I could get Manibus down during the first phase. The reason for this, it's the secondary ability, which allows you to keep firing and gives you additional bullets to work with. This is particularly effective if your gear and mod levels are average, because you have some time to deal more damage before the boss moves into the next phase. Now let's look at the practical run. As soon as the boss appears, you can call out Mr. Wish and simply start shooting continuously until the boss goes down. For this version, there is no real need to apply the bullseye buff with bingo, as I found very little difference when comparing the results with and without it. So instead of the usual mixed fried hot dog, you can use bone deviated sausage or crumbly bread for the additional weapon damage. One thing to mention is that the version of Mr. Wish I'm using here isn't the standard version. This is a morphed version that's essentially a power event 3 in terms of its stats, and it also recharges relatively quickly after returning to the Cradle. Now let's look at Butterfly Emissary. If you already have high level gear and well optimized mods, Butterfly can be an excellent option and can actually take Manibus down faster than Mr. Wish. The main drawback is that you are much more limited to your ammunition compared to the Mr. Wish setup. With Butterfly, you have fewer bullets to work with, so your gear, mods, damage output, and timing becomes more important. A good alternative here is the weak spot version of the SN700 Finale, which has an 8-round magazine and pairs particularly well with the Butterfly. I've nearly made a video covering that build, and I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. For this run, it's important to mark the enemy beforehand. First, activate Butterfly's main ability by pressing X. Then switch to bingo and mark the target 3 times to apply the required buffs. After that, switch back to the SN700 and use your 6 shots to bring the boss down, assuming your build is strong enough to finish the sequence. So to conclude, both deviations have their own advantages, and the better choice ultimately comes down to your mod levels, your build, and which playstyle you are more comfortable with. So I'm curious, which one would you choose for your SN700? Butterfly or Mr. Wish? Let me know in the comments, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.